Hey, welcome to the 2019 Game 7 World Series Coaches, Team Administrators, and Team Moms information video. Our goal, to create the best experience possible, to answer questions, and to make sure when you come to the Lou, you will enjoy your experience. REP is proud to partner with Game 7, and this is now our third year, guys, working with Game 7 for the World Series. Now, I want to introduce a couple of good guys, a couple of gentlemen to my left here, starting with Mr. Dave Schmidt and Mr. Dave Penning. Guys, you want to say something to the folks?
Brian? Good. Hello, everyone. Dave Schmidt, Game 7. First off, I want to thank everybody for coming to the World Series this year in St. Louis. I think we have over 150 teams registered, so it'd be our largest World Series we got yet to date. So welcome y'all to St. Louis. Thanks for giving Game 7 a shot, and pass it over to Dave, Mr. Dave Penning here.
Hey, thanks, partner. Dave Penning here, and I'd like to take this time to thank everybody for joining us for this informational video. Usually we have a manager's meeting and a team mom meeting. This will take the place of that. So thanks for giving us some of your time and reviewing this video.
Absolutely. Well, how about we get started? We got 12 states represented in 2019 with 150 teams coming to test their mettle this week. Or not this week, it's in 3 weeks. Got to be careful how you say that, right? With an event this size, guys, there's a lot of work that goes into creating a great experience for the players and the fans, right?
A lot of work.
Exactly.
So, Dave, Mr. Schmidt over there, we're going to talk a little bit about the website, the features, and how this event, how you guys have taken and created opportunities to make it as smooth as possible. Yes?
Awesome. Yep. Website, game7baseball.com. We have a new website this year. Very informative, very easy to read, easy to walk through. For the World Series information, the tournament format will be a pool play into a double elimination. All the games will begin on Friday evening. Important question, schedules. Schedule will be posted on the website Tuesday, July 9th. You'll see a tab on the left side that will be created with each division and the schedules for every team. Along with the tabs on there, the event info tab, that tells you all the information, important information about the event, as well as the rain out hotline number. Hopefully we won't have to use it for the World Series. We've used it a lot this year.
Things getting worn out this year.
Hopefully we won't have to use it. But the information's on the event info page. You'll be able to find that. Important thing about rosters, want to make a note on, rosters will freeze on July 10th, the Wednesday, July 10th. All ads, edits, anything's got to be submitted by 11:59 p.m. on July 9th.
So, Dave, let me ask you a real quick question on that. Ads and edits, what do you mean by that? What as a coach, I'm looking at what can I add, what can I edit?
If you've played with us before this year and you're adding a couple people to your roster, removing somebody from your roster, or if you haven't played with us yet this year, everything's got to be submitted online by that Wednesday, July 10th. So make sure you have that. You got no exceptions to that. Moving down the line with the tabs on the website, on the left side, you'll go down park directions, contact information, but the documents tab, that's where you can find some more information. I'll pass it over to Dave, and he'll kind of go through the document tab, everything we need to know.
A couple forums that you'll want to be real pay attention to, because today is Tuesday. The deadline for these two forums that I'm getting ready to tell you about is July 2nd, which is realistically a week from today. So, guys, if you haven't already done so, these two forums have been posted on the website for about a month now. So make sure you pay attention to those, because two of those are very, very, very important. The one being the skills competition roster. It is a timed event. We do schedule it. It's very thorough. And I don't know if some of you have been to skills competitions before, and it's just a nightmare. I think last year, Dave, we moved those teams through 1 hour and 55 minutes, correct?
Yep.
Very, very timed, very on time, and it was very organized. So this is the purpose of that. Do not miss out on that. July 2nd is when we need that in. Keep in mind, one player per entry. You cannot double up on that. So you can't have an individual in the home run derby and the fastest around the spot, around the field.
Races,
pay attention to that. Get that in the mail. We must have that by July 2nd. The second thing is your pre-order t-shirt form. Do yourself a favor, save yourself some money. Pre-order is $20. There will be some available on site. However, they are $25 on site and it's a limited supply. So number one, save yourself some money. Guarantee the size you want and the color you want by pre-ordering. Once again, July 2nd for that deadline as well.
So both of those, you need to get them in by July 2nd. That's a week from today.
That is a week from today.
Okay.
Must have it in hand.
So one of the things here too that we got on that is the itinerary. Talk a little bit about what you guys do with the itinerary there for folks.
Yeah, that's listed on the website as well. It gives you kind of a breakdown. A lot of your teams, the team mom is very thorough. She's very organized. So she can kind of play along with that and see where it is, what we have scheduled for that week or 5 days there.
Yeah.
It's on there. And we'll get to a little bit later on in this video. A lot of questions pertaining to the Cardinal tickets and where they need to be, what gate, where they need to line up. And we'll get into that later on in this video.
That sure does help a team mom or a team admin schedule their event, correct?
Yes, absolutely. And we appreciate it too, being proactive and asking the questions instead of assuming.
Right, absolutely. So, go ahead.
Touch
Dave.
on one thing. Another thing on that document page you'll see is download a form for the Game 7 rules. We're not going to go in depth of every rule of the tournament, but highly recommend you go through the rules. You got any questions, give us a ring.
Absolutely. Hey, look, and these guys, they're on their phone all the time. So they don't mind you calling. They might mind, but no, I'm kidding. But they will answer your phone call. They will talk to you. So make sure you do that. Follow up with them. We have a new video segment this year with the help of a new character, the Game 7 Baseball. Guys, the importance of getting the lineup, the pitching card, the game card information correct is huge, right? So we're going to show you this segment. It's going to walk you through all the game forms of Game 7. If you're a first timer to the event, if you've been in the tournaments, it's still great piece to watch. Let's take a look. Welcome to the Game 7 World Series Game Form Information video. With the help of the Game 7 Baseball, we will go through each form together. Let's get started. Let's start with the lineup card. First, we have the batting order choices. We have 9 batters with the DH, 10 batters with the extra player, or the continuous batting order. Next, you will need to fill out the team name and date. Then the really important information. You'll need to fill out the player's jersey number and full name, first and last. Finally, the position they will be playing. Now we continue with the Game 7 Baseball pitching card. Teams will track their own pitching and will verify and sign the opposing team's pitching chart. Once the pitching chart is signed, it will be considered official. 8U through 12U have the 4, 6, and 8 inning rule. 13U to 16U have the 5, 7, and 10 inning rule. The first column reflects the maximum number of innings a pitcher can throw in one day and pitch the next day. The second column reflects the innings a pitcher can throw in a single day without having thrown the previous day and will not be allowed to pitch the next day. The third column is the maximum a pitcher can throw in 3 consecutive days. Pitchers that throw 3 days must rest the next day. You will need to fill out the information noted, including the pitcher's full name, first and last, along with the jersey number. Remember, 1 out constitutes a third of an inning. You will need to verify the innings pitched of the opposing team and sign their pitching chart. It will then become official. Last is the Game 7 Baseball scorecard. That will be filled out at each game and with all the pertinent information. Coaches will be responsible to review the information on the scorecard, including the final score, to verify its accuracy and then sign on the appropriate line. Remember, once all this information has been verified and signed, then turned into the tournament director, it is official and cannot be changed. So please take the time to check these cards thoroughly. Thank you for watching, and remember, if you have questions, make sure you speak to a tournament director to make sure you get the right answer. So one last topic in this segment, Dave touched on just before we rolled into the game cards, is Game 7 rules. So, and then talking with umpires. It's July, it's hot, so it's up to us to keep our cool, to understand and know how to show a positive way how to handle issues, correct? Because we have all seen it, we've all seen it. So guys, if you could talk about some basic stuff, where they can find, reiterate that. You will have UICs at every venue, correct?
Yes.
And so encouraging the coaches to read the rules. Yes? Talk a little bit about that.
Sure, just that's why I said touch on the rules. Read through the rules. You got any questions, contact us. If something comes up during the event, Dave or myself, any site director, UICs will be at every site, approach us. As a coach, approach us. We'll give you a breakdown of the rules. We'll answer your question. If we don't have the answer, we're going to find the answer for you.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The coaches come to us.
And guys, let me ask you this. And I know it's difficult because you don't want to push people away, and because we're trying to help people, but you would prefer a coach to come and talk to you, yes, instead of a parent or a coach sending a parent, correct?
Absolutely. And if you could, please come in a manner that we can understand you. It's going to be hot out there. All the calls may or may not go your way. However, we are humans, and those guys make mistakes. So just keep that in the back of your mind, and don't come to the trailer or the team check-in screaming at the top of your lungs, because we may not be as receptive to listen to you and try to find you a solution for your problem. Do it in a professional manner. We'll take that as well. And like Dave said, we have a UIC and a director at every site. They'll be introduced when you check in your team, so therefore you'll know who to look for if a problem does, or a question that you have that needs to be addressed.
And I know you guys work very hard to bring quality officiating to Game 7. Is that correct? Absolutely, it's correct. I know that because I've been around. I know the guys. I know these officials. I've been officiating in this area for 12 years, and I know many of the guys that work with them. So, all right. So we got through some of that stuff, all the tedious things and whatnot. Let's talk about some big stuff, right? The big stuff. The skills competition and World Series night at Busch Stadium with the parade. That's always the fun one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the skills competition, Dave. What do you got?
There is a form on there, like I alluded to earlier in this video. One player per entry per event. It is a timed event, so once we gather all the skills rosters in, we'll put a schedule together, and it'll be emailed out. It'll be just like a pool play schedule. It'll have times where you have to be with your individual or with your team, whichever event you're participating in. So pay close attention to that, because it is a timed event. You don't want to miss it, because unfortunately, if your recipient is not there at his time frame, the show must go on, and we'll have to skip over them.
That's tough. That happened a couple times last year.
It happened
didn't
once last year with this individual, but we tried to work him in the back end, but he had left the park. But just pay attention to that, and because it is a timed event.
Absolutely.
And a note that skills will be on Friday, starting at 11 o'clock. That'll start at 11 o'clock during the day on Friday. Hope to wrap up by about 2 o'clock, because we're going to have games in the evening, or for those going to the Cardinal game. Absolutely. And another note, you don't have to participate in the skills competition. Highly recommend. It's a lot of fun, but not your entire team has to. I mean, if only one person's available and they want to do the home run hitting contest, one person can come. Or if they want to pick one of the events,
Good
or
point.
the entire team.
Absolutely.
And that happened last year as well.
So
there you go. Yeah. So, if you want to make it a team event, great. If you don't, it doesn't have to be either, does it? It's up to the person that gives flexibility and whatnot.
It's a great time to pin trade there as well. Opportune time to pin trade and pick up your pin towel. We got pin towels for sale this year, and a Game 7 World Series pin that'll be available for sale there at the souvenir booth this year.
So, Dave, let's talk about the importance of things that everybody needs to have at check-in.
check-in is one of the most important things. All teams must check in, preferably 45 minutes prior to your first game. Before you take the field, you have to check in. What you will bring to check in. you'll bring a printout. That's the roster you submitted online. Print that out, and then when you print it out, there'll be signature spaces. Every parent must sign next to their child's name. Even if you played an event with us earlier this year, every team must still check in and turn in a roster, a printed copy at check-in. When you turn that in, you will pick up your pitching cards and your lineup cards. Them are the two important things you will pick up.
Every team, correct?
Every team. Every team.
Every team, correct?
Must check in. So, once again, you'll get the lineup cards, you'll get your pitching cards, and rosters. We need the rosters.
And it's a good time to ask if there's any questions about rules or pitching rules or anything like that, correct?
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's where you answer it. Ask questions before you take the field, and you're ready to go. But once again, on the rosters, have them submitted online by July 10th. No ads. When you come to check in, we can't add little Johnny that you accidentally forgot to put him on the roster. They've got to be on there.
And birth certificates. What about birth certificates?
All teams should have a copy of their birth certificates for every player. Hate to see a team come to town or come to the event and for some reason there'd be a roster protest and you forgot the binder with the birth certificates. Unfortunately, you're going to be with the forfeit if you don't have proof with your birth certificate.
Yeah, a lot of teams, what they'll do is they'll get them windows with the binder and then shove the birth certificates in there. I get it as a coach and as a team mom. You don't want to be responsible for those, but as soon as they're cleared, you're going back home after the World Series is over. Here you go. Return them back to them. Game 7, we will not keep them. However, you do need to have them in case you are challenged.
Yeah, they will not be checked at check-in, just in case of a roster protest.
So that's all it's for. You don't have to bring it to check-in. You just need to have it.
That's correct.
Okay. So now the big one, Busch Stadium and the parade. Woohoo! We're finally there, right? Dave, why don't you talk us through a little bit of that?
Yeah, that's one of the highlights of the event, Brian. Everybody loves it. They get to go down on the field there and parade before the Cardinals and the Diamondbacks this year. So that's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in the itinerary, there's all the times, the gate, the information that they will need. And for team moms, this is a great piece to print out that itinerary, correct?
The first thing I will emphasize, it is on a Friday. St. Louis traffic can be horrendous at times.
Yeah.
Don't assume that your hour is going to be enough to get you downtown.
Right.
You never know when there's traffic, lane closures, construction going on, accidents do happen. There are some. Friday is not the easiest to get downtown, so leave yourself plenty of time because they will not wait for you to line up. If you're not there in ample time to line up, and all this will be in the itinerary as well, as opposed to what gate you need to go into, what time you need to line up, and where you need to line up. And remember, it's for players and coaches only.
No parents.
Parents are allowed in the stadium. They can go down and take pictures, which I highly recommend doing in the section, the ground level section.
We're at the gate.
Yeah, ground
Okay.
level down
Yep.
there. They can go see it. They come on the Jumbotron and snap photos of them. But once the parade has finished, they'll have to go to their seat naturally.
Okay.
But they'll be dropped off at the same gate and they'll return at the same gate.
So you'll know where to find your
Ramp,
kid.
the same ramp, I should say.
Same
yeah.
ramp. Okay.
You'll enter at gate 1, which is they open that gate early.
Mm-hmm.
It's gate 1, and all information will be on the website. And then from there, they'll go line up on the ramp to go up, to go down onto the field.
It's a great experience.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I would suggest team moms talk to all the parents about this. Go through that information. Make sure they're aware of what they have, what they need, and what is going on, because it can get confusing, can't it, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Another big question we have is, do we wear the full uniform? It's entirely up to you. What a lot of people do is that they wear their jersey top and a pair of shorts, something comfortable, because they're going to be attending the game. And, well, it is July in St. Louis, and it may be a little hot.
And we have one more form to talk about here with the Cardinal tickets, yes?
Yes, those of you who did take advantage of our reimbursement, if you stayed in one of our host hotels, we are not a stay and play. However, one of the perks to it is if you do stay with Patty, by the way, she's been great to work with for the past 15 years,
yeah.
right? She's phenomenal. I do have a list of those of you who are staying with Patty in one of our host hotels. You will be receiving an email that I will email out a form. It's very simple. Team name, where you're staying, number of room nights. You'll need that to be reimbursed, and you'll get reimbursed at team check-in.
Very good. So that form is up. You see it on the screen. And is there a particular date they have to have that in by, Dave?
The reimbursement form?
Yes.
You'll just have to bring that with you to team check-in. And it'll have a little what you need to get your reimbursement check. You'll have to have a copy of your receipt from the Cardinals that you ordered from Michael. And like I said, this questionnaire form that I'll email to the recipients who are staying with us.
All right. Well, guys, we hope this coaches, team admin, and team moms video presentation has helped you. Thank you for watching. And guys, some final thoughts?
Yep, just once again, schedule will be posted to Tuesday. One thing I do want to add to it, the size of the event, the number of teams we got, unfortunately, we will not be able to take any scheduling requests for this event.
That's a good point.
That's why I wanted to touch on that. But once again, Tuesday, it should be posted.
All right.
And those of you concerned, if you are going to the Cardinal game, you won't be scheduled that Friday night, obviously. But if you're not going to the Cardinal game, plan on playing on Friday night. So,
Dave?
Yeah, I just can't wait for the event, Brian. It's the pinnacle of our year. It's always a great event. We make it an event for everybody. So looking forward. We talked to a lot of you on the phone. Looking forward to putting a face with the voice and meeting each and every one of you here at St. Louis come the 12th.
oh, yeah. It's going to be a blast.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing everyone in July. Stop by the REP tent, say hello. Find Dave and Dave at the Game 7 table and say hello. Have a great day in the Lord, and we will see you all at the ballpark.